Welcome to MyMacDLife, and powered by the Support Sight Foundation. This podcast is about macular degeneration and the devastating impact it has on millions of people and their families every single day, 365 days a year. Our mission is simple: to bring hope, optimism, perspective, and education to our listeners. So tune in, buckle up, and put your listening ears on.
Support for today's MyMacDLife podcast comes from Healthy Vision Association, Novartis, Vispero, Centric Bank, and Hinkelstein & Associates.
Hey, welcome back here at MyMacDLife again. This is Mike Wood with Vispero, and I have with me the infamous Bill Kilroy.
Now I've become infamous. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. I'm having a blast with you, by the way.
Always fun, Bill. Always fun. So I'm Mike Wood, Strategic Accounts Manager for Education. And then I've got the Senior Sales Director, Bill. He's usually up in the Northeast area, but he's snuck away. He's become a snowbird, Bill. Can I officially call you a snowbird?
No, I'm officially just lucky to have access to my parents' condo for about a week here. So.
Nice.
It's a
Enjoy
nice
the
break.
sunshine, get some good vitamin D and suntan, and head back up to the Northeast. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Vispero, we both work for Vispero, and it's the world's largest AT company developing hardware and software for those with visual issues, so blind and low vision. Some of our brands, a lot of people are more familiar with the brands than Vispero, since Vispero is more of a newer name. It was formed in 2016. Was that 2016?
You know, we were VFO Group in 2016, and I think it's about 2018, early part of 2019, if I think about it, where we rebranded because, VFO Group was, really not anything indicative of what we did, where Vispero was two Latin words, visio and spero, vision and hope. And I think that speaks more to our mission with this company and the brands that we represent.
Absolutely does. And, the brands many people are more familiar with are Freedom Scientific, Enhanced Vision, Optelec, and the Paciello Group, which does services helping companies become compliant with their website and making sure all of their technology is accessible and works easily with the products that we develop, whether it be the software or the hardware. So today, the product of choice we're going to chat about is the Topaz Ultra, which is a Freedom Scientific product. And this is one of our newest products. Super gets me excited, and I love showing this product because it's a portable magnifier. And what this is it comes in two sizes. So you've got a 15.6-inch screen or a 17.3-inch screen. And this is basically a desktop unit that has been able to become portable. So you can fold this up, put it under your arm, throw it in its carrying case, comes with a carrying case with a handle, and take it on the go. Topaz Ultra, it weighs, what is it, Bill? Just about 10 pounds for the 15-inch model and about 12 pounds.
Just about 12 pounds for the 17 and just around, like you said, just around 10 for the 15-inch model. So
it's super portable. And one of the things that I have a good friend of mine. So this I always think says a lot when you actually sell these items to your friends and you promote these items to your friends and family, right? So I had a friend that was traveling back and forth between house here in Ohio and a small apartment in New York City. And so in New York City, she didn't want to have this giant desktop unit, but she needed to be able to read her mail while she was there. And she'd have her husband read it to her, but after so long, you get tired of asking your husband to read these things for you. So she bought one of these. And the nice thing is when you have it closed up, I kind of compare it to an old laptop, maybe like a 1990s laptop size, right? You're only a couple inches thick, 17 inches wide if you've got the 17-inch model, or 15 if you've got the 15-inch. Not only portable, but also the battery life. You've got a 5-hour battery with this unit. So you're able to do 5 hours of continuous use, which is a lot of reading or magnification. And with that, you've got customization that you can customize it to power off after so many minutes completely, or maybe just put the screen into a sleep mode to save on battery. Mm-hmm. But you can also plug it in. This unit is the Freedom Scientific branded one, is the Topaz Ultra. We've also got the Merlin Mini under the Enhanced Vision line of products. We've got the ClearView Go under the Optelec branded products. And many of you out there, if you're not familiar with, I'm going to mention the American Printing House for the Blind, give them a nice shout out. They've been spectacular. They work a lot with the school-aged clientele. And the product that we manufacture for them is the Jupiter. I've been selling the Jupiter now for just about 2 years. And I can tell you there's thousands of them out there in the market. And one of the biggest things that I love to tell people is how solid this unit is. It's a very sturdy, well-built product. And that goes for all the Topaz Ultra, the Merlin Mini, the ClearView Go, and the Jupiter. These are being used by students in schools. I was traveling around with one of the prototype units for the first year and flying, throwing it in a carry-on bag or putting it in my Pelican case and checking it on the airlines. And you know how gentle the airlines are, right, with the your check-on bags? So I'd always, land, I'd go to the luggage pickup area, and I'd open up my Pelican case, and the first thing I'd be saying is, please let this thing work, because I've got to show it to a school, the next morning. And always worked. It's been great. The other thing, I'm not even talking about some of the greatest things, is the fact that you've got this 1080p high-definition autofocus camera. So you can use this to do distance. You can use it to read text on the desk below you, or you can use it for self-facing. So we oftentimes get tied up in all the nitty-gritty details of schoolwork or, reading materials or reading your mail. But what about wanting to look and apply makeup, shaving, styling your hair, things like that, right? Checking your eye if you've got an eyelash in it. Things like that you might know, putting in your contact lenses. I mean, all sorts of different things you can do.
I'll tell you that, that you mentioned the 1080p camera, and, we've been doing this a while, and some of these distance cameras, when they first came out, were standard definition cameras. And I remember, you deal with kids in a classroom and higher ed, and you're in a classroom situation and you want to, you might be 25, 30 feet in some lecture halls. You might be 100 feet away from the speaker or the whiteboard or blackboard. And when we first came out with these standard definition cameras years ago, I think of the Onyx in the Freedom line, and the Acrobat in the Enhanced Vision line. Those cameras, were standard definition. We would actually tell the students and the part of the team that was evaluating that you want your student to have preferential seating. We want them to be within 30 feet of the whiteboard or blackboard when they're doing distance. Now it's like you can be on the 10-yard line of a football field focused on the end zone and seeing the sharpness of, a goalpost or something. It's that good and that sharp, and the camera difference is incredible.
Oh, by far.
And that's just, you get it with today's technology. That's just part of it. But I will say that the camera in this unit has been phenomenal. So whether you're looking at something that's on your work surface, looking at the whiteboard or blackboard, or focusing on yourself. You and I do these demos all the time. We get tired of looking at how sharp the image is when it's focusing in on our fingernails or the skin on our hand. Or my nose, and it's crazy. You can see the pores on somebody's face. It's so sharp.
Oh gosh, it's so sharp, and the distance is always spectacular. I used this at one of the Braille challenges I was at, and I had it on my table, and I had this young lady came over to me that's low vision, and she used some stuff in school, and I said, oh, this is a new, at that time it was the Jupiter sitting there, but again, the same camera, the same functionality that the Topaz Ultra has in it. And she used it, and she was jumping up and down. I said to her, she was so excited about the image quality and how easy, the other thing that's cool with this is the blanking on the word here, not the mobility, but the different positions you can have the monitor in. So, we're not all the same height, right? What if we're standing up at a countertop desk, or a countertop height, or then we're taking it and we're sitting down at my work desk in my office. The monitor on this moves up and down at all different levels. You can tilt it, and so you can really customize it to fit where you're at. And the design of it, when they were designing it, they made it this way. And the other thing is you've got 3 different selectable magnification ranges, which I think is cool because, if you're working with, say you're purchasing this for your parent or for your child or even for yourself, but say you want to start out at a higher magnification level, you can customize this between 3 different options to start out at. So if you don't need that high magnification, start out at a lower range and then work your way up. If you want to start out at a higher magnification, start out there and then work your way up. Of course, you've got your different color contrast modes you can do. There's 30 some odd different color contrast modes to customize it for you there. And you also can connect this with an HDMI cable. So you've got an HDMI out port on the back of the monitor. And if you want to take what image you have on this Topaz Ultra and bring it to a large screen TV, plug in that HDMI port, and you can put that on your large 70-inch, 80-inch flat screen TV. And, then you've got huge viewing range. It's like going to the drive-in movie theater, right? Versus your handheld magnifier.
We get into some of these podcasts and we don't want to, just hit people with a bunch of specs. We want to talk about, and I think you've talked about it very well, is, we talk a lot about ergonomics and the types of tasks you're doing and the versatility of these devices. We focused in the past on durability, and unquestionably, this is one of the most durable products out there. A couple of thousand kids beating on, sister product of this is really, demonstrated that it can take a beating. And again, I'm probably exaggerating here, but if you take good care of it, it takes good care of you. But the point is, it has excellent magnification features in terms of range. It has those contrast options, which you need to have.
Yep.
It has the line markers and the masking to sort of zone in on the print material that you want to focus in on.
Correct.
But I think when you're considering a device like this, you fit a certain profile. You're probably moving around your home or moving from place to place regularly. You don't always have access to an outlet. Maybe you go to the library, right? We talked about taking other devices to the library. This is a great device to take to the library.
Absolutely.
Libraries should be accessible first and foremost, number one. They should have their own. But if you're going into that community or you're going to the senior center, wherever you're going, and you don't have access to a plug or something, 5 hours of battery life is awesome. We've both done these low vision support groups in the past in our territories, and I'll never forget this. One of the first times I showed this type of device, it was the ClearView Go, the Optelec branded version of it. I was showing it, and I talked a little bit about, you could be using this in your den at the desk and doing your bills, filling out the checkbook, reconciling, your expenditures for the month, et cetera. And you could also then take it over into the kitchen, get out your cookbook, get your pot over here, go through the recipe, look at it, everything, and prepare your meal, right? Or again, a lot of work area between the bottom of the camera and the work surface.
Yep.
For you hobbyists, if you're manipulating a device or fixing something, or dang, you want to solve that Rubik's Cube, you can just manipulate that under the camera and go to town. But this really resonated with a particular person who loved to cook and was struggling. And after the presentation, she came up to me privately. I connected her with one of our partners. He brought the unit out, and it was a fit. And it was a great fit for this particular person because it was so versatile and, again, can take that movement very easily as a durable system. And like you say, it checks all the boxes as far as low vision specifications and adjustments that you want to make.
It does. And, you brought up some great points there. And I think, the design aspect, when they designed it, they made it so that it would fit on a countertop underneath your cabinets. They figured the measurements for that. In years past, I think we all know the technology wasn't there to be able to move these products to where you want to be. You used to have to take the item you wanted to read or magnify to the unit. Now you can bring the unit to where you want to be at.
Absolutely.
And I got to tell you something I find funny. We were talking about repairs and things like that, right? So I see the emails coming in about students, what their needs are. Did a unit break or something? You want to know what the number one issue is with these products? Is students losing the power cord. So it's not even the product going bad. It's the student losing the power cable somewhere. So I get emails all the time saying, can I buy an extra, power cable? And you can, but it's comical because that's what I'm getting emails from schools saying, hey, the student misplaced it. And so that's where we're at. So it's a definitely...
Those are the best problems to have. Somebody left the power cord plugged in somewhere and they took off with their unit.
Easy breezy, cheap replacement, nothing big. And, it also comes with a 2-year warranty. So you're covered, 2-year manufacturer's warranty. Don't go throwing it down a flight of stairs or something, but it's going to cover you for any issues that come up. And, we mentioned that comes in 2 sizes, right? So you've got the 15-inch monitor and the 17-inch monitor. And I think big thing is price. Everyone wants to know, where are you running with these products? So 15-inch is $2,995. And the 17-inch monitor is $3,495. So these come in under, the desktop units that we've talked about before on these, MyMacDLife podcasts. But these have the power of all of those desktop units. You've got all that great magnification, the high definition camera, and all those things we've talked about. So, you're right in at $3,000 or $3,500 basically.
Yep. And like you say, and I always say this too, it's like, these devices are not inexpensive. You want to take care in what you evaluate. You want to make sure it's the right fit for you. So we encourage you to visit our website, Vispero.com. You can go to freedomscientific.com and find more detailed information, product videos, et cetera, on the Topaz Ultra. But you can also reach out to us. Reach out to Mike or I. We can connect you with partners in your state, hopefully not too far from you in the community, who can arrange to show you these products and tell them your needs. I want to do this. I want to do that. Can it do this? If this isn't the right solution, I guarantee you, we have a lot of tools out there for all levels of budgets and needs. And this is just one product, and it's a very good product. And from a portability standpoint, it's the top. But we want to fit you with the right tool, ultimately,
absolutely,
so that you're happy and productive at the end of the day and independent. Today, we want to share some information about one of our real premium products in the Optelec line. It's a device called the ClearView C with speech. And the ClearView line has been, again, it's been in the Optelec family and evolving over, at least 30 years. And you can think of it as a traditional desktop CCTV with a more modern design, a C-shaped frame that gives you a lot more room under the camera for newspapers, print material, objects, that type of thing. And has a 24-inch monitor connected to a high-definition camera below it, a nice illumination system, focused down on a XY table, and electronic, actually a removable electronic control panel that talks to the device wirelessly up to, I think, about 15 feet. So I can control magnification levels up to 77 times magnification. I can change contrast options, probably up to 25, 30 different color combinations to adjust, to see and read perfectly the material under the camera. It uses a flat panel, pressure sensitive or touchscreen monitor. So when it comes to utilizing OCR or optical character recognition, where I can tap the screen and I can initiate a scan out of my textbook, workbook, magazine, other types of reading material, I can scan that material, and rather than visually read it, which I still can do, I can auditorily listen to that. So a lot of our devices over the last couple of years, we've been bringing these two modalities together, the large print and the magnification option features with the auditory features, the optical character recognition, scanning and reading, so that you as the user can perform your tasks for a longer period of time. I would typically tell somebody, and Mike, I'm sure you've seen this out there too, If you're a traditional CCTV reader, you're reading a book, you're reading a magazine, article out of a print journal, a scientific journal. Most people tell me they can go about, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes. If you're really good, maybe an hour on the CCTV, because, think about all the mental processing that has to take place. I got to make it bigger. I've got to put, I might be reading the characters one by one. Even though I have a large field, I'm putting those characters into words, into context, into paragraphs. That's mentally fatiguing. Wouldn't it be nice, and it's great that we have it now, the ability to say, okay, half an hour, I'm beat. You know what? I'm just going to read the rest of this article. I'm just going to scan a few pages here, and then I'm going to read it. I can follow along, but I'm just going to listen to it and just relax and take it in through these two ears on my head and just go to town. And that's what the ClearView C with speech can give you. And the versatility that it has of, particularly in OCR mode, where I can get an image of that document, and we put up what are called reading zones. We highlight different areas of the screen and we number them. So, a lot of people with vision will just sort of like highlight something or skim read through something. I can jump around a document. If I don't want to read the beginning, if it sounds just like a general introduction, I can, go into the next section and start reading there and move through the document even faster. We see a lot of these devices in people's homes, in schools, libraries. Optelec is very big in libraries throughout the United States.
Yeah, you can save the documents. I've worked with some seniors that have bought this, and one of the neat things is I had one gentleman that basically scanned in his emergency contact list and then was able to save it into the ClearView C with speech, and then that was easily accessible. So then all he has to do is tap the screen, go to the saved documents, and boom, he's able to pull up his emergency contact list. So he's got, his daughter's phone number, his son's phone number, his doctor's phone number. It's stored right inside there on the ClearView C with speech. And then if he needs it read back to him, he can do so.
You mentioned the saving feature, and, people that are, so many different tasks you can perform. Pleasure reading, reading for work, reading for hobbies, those types of things. But what about managing the home? We can sign the check register and fill out the checks and fill out the forms, but we get our utility bills all the time. Not everybody's online getting their utility bills. So what if I want to compare what I've done for like electric or heating, other things from month to month? Well, we can save all those bills on this device and call them up as we need them and say, okay, this is what my electric bill was in January, and here's what it is in February, and why is it going up or going down, that type of thing. So I can have a history of my utility bills by saving it on the device.
Yeah, that's a great point. And then you figure out who's going to get yelled at for touching the thermostat, right?
Absolutely. Keeps you in charge, bottom line. Keeps you in control.
Yeah, it's great. And, I think the thing I always liked with this, too, is you can scan in those multiple languages. I know at a conference a couple of years back, we had someone that brought their parents through, and their native language was Spanish, and they scanned in some Spanish text. And this, you can switch between the voices, so you can read English, German, French, Italian, Spanish, multiple lists of languages. I believe it's about 30 different languages this will read to you in. And the parents were so ecstatic when it was reading to them in their native tongue of Spanish. Super easy for you to change. So a lot of...
And I'll tell you, those native speaking voices and the speech synthesizers, I mean, you and I have both, we've been in this industry for a long time. We've seen the evolution of these speech engines, if you will. And I mean, literally computer-sounding speech that is like this, talking to you in one inflection and voice only, to natural voices. It's almost like you and I walking or talking speaking that text on the page. It's amazing the quality and the difference. And like you say, if I can get it in my native language, where I still have documents in Spanish or Russian or German, all the better. So
yeah,
it's a great device. It's versatile, gives you the best of both worlds. Large print, OCR, keeps you going. Let's hit them with the price, Mike. all of these features, it is the top of the line in our line. This is the device that, if you need all of this flexibility, and bear in mind, we have desktop video magnifiers across all the brands, some combined with OCR, some just magnification only, that we've highlighted on this podcast. And, those devices will range anywhere from $2,000, $2,500 on up. This is the top end of the spectrum. So this device here is $3,995.
And, Bill, I have to say, with that price, when you're looking at purchasing something like this, you've got to look out to the future, right? And know, is your vision going to get worse? Do you think that you would benefit from having this OCR capability? I mean, I've gone into homes before where someone has bought a unit that didn't have speech capability in it, and their vision got worse, and they said, I wish that I had bought that with it, and then now it's just a dust collector, basically. So, you got to think of long-term. What are your needs going to be? And if it's going to be something, jump on it, do it. Go with that, top-of-the-line Cadillac unit.
And one of the things we always stress is making sure that it's the right fit for you.
Yes.
We have a lot of brands. We have a lot of technologies. You could combine a CCTV with a standalone OCR. And, again, and I think the key here is reach out to Vispero, get connected with one of our local partners, have a conversation about what your specific needs are. They can suggest what you might want to evaluate, and they can bring it to you. Again, in this pandemic, we got to take good care of everybody. So, we do online videos so that you can see them up on Vispero.com and each of the different brands. But we also do outfit our channel partners with PPE. We've stressed the right protocols to keep you safe, to keep that provider safe. If you're comfortable having them in, they will come in and arrange to show you these devices. And again, you make sure that it is the right fit for you, because this is an investment. These are
Absolutely.
Not inexpensive devices, and you want to make sure that it's the right one for you. And if your vision is stable, great. If it's declining in any way, shape, or form, you want to be able to evaluate something that can take you into the future to allow you to continue to be productive and independent.
And just so we have it out there again, go to www.vispero.com. That's Vispero.com. And also MyMacDLife.org. Lots of different resources on there, and links to our page are right there at MyMacDLife.org.
And so I guess we're going to sign off, but I again want to say thank you to Dawn and Sean at MyMacDLife.org and the hosts of the MyMacDLife podcast. Thank you. We love it here. Mike and I have a blast, and we love sharing information about these tools to your community. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks for having me back as well, Bill. Enjoy it always.
All right. Bye, folks.
This program is empowered by the Support Sight Foundation. The Support Sight Foundation mission is to save sight for millions of people who suffer from age-related macular degeneration, AMD, and lose their precious vision. As a 501c3 public charity, our goal is to provide patient education and access to low vision resources to help individuals, families, and caregivers whose lives are severely impacted by AMD. We place a high priority on connecting with people, their families, and loved ones who live with the daily struggle of impaired vision. The Support Sight Foundation funds innovative research projects conducted by the top scientists in the field who are on a path to discover effective new tools, technology, and treatments for people like you with vision loss. The Support Sight Foundation, supportsight.org, supportsight.org, or call us at 888-681-8773 and connect with us on social media. Thank you.
Thanks for being with us on MyMacDLife, the podcast with a vision to bring hope, optimism, perspective, and education to our listeners. For more information and many great, incredible resources, visit MyMacDLife.org. This program is supported by amazing listeners like you. During the season of giving, please consider a donation to keep our mission moving forward. Remember to subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, keep living with hope.
MyMacDLife.